Problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
At Evans Body Shop, we take pride in delivering exceptional customer service to our customers. Here's what some of them have to say.
It was the kindness that got me. Then I witnessed their work.
And their customer service was just exceptional.
They are so kind and understanding, and they let you feel like you don't need to worry about anything, especially dealing with the insurance company. That was great. And the repair work was tremendous.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, showers, a chance of some thunderstorms, a high this afternoon in the low to mid 70s. We will see showers and a chance of storms tonight, and overnight low will drop down in the middle to upper 50s. Tuesday, a bounty of sunshine, high temperatures on Tuesday in the low to mid 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
We want to win the West. We want to win the Natty. We want to win all of it. And we're at Arkansas. We should have that opportunity to do that.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. ESPN 95.3. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to The Morning Rush. It's a lot of
How's it going today? It's good to be with you. Oh, it was a long weekend, a very long weekend. Welcome into halftime on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson here, my partner Matt Jones and Christian Johnston producing. Long nights were the order of the weekend, Matt. I guess last night didn't get back home until 3 a.m. So that is, honestly, that's not too different from about the time I was able to get myself to sleep after the Friday night game. Started close to 10 o'clock in Baton Rouge, didn't end until, heck, I don't even remember when I got off the air. It was 1:30 in the morning. So yeah, this reminds me of what it was like to be a late teenager into my 20s. You remember when it was literally could not go to sleep before 12:30 a.m. or 1 a.m., And now in my late 40s, I could go to sleep at 9 o'clock on a daily basis, but might take a few days to get the inner clock working once again because I'm a little bit screwed up right now. How are you?
Hey, happy Monday. Liverpool won, Thunder Nuggets 2-2. So, you know when you see somebody and they got like an Oklahoma City hat on, or just whatever team it is, and you're like, hey, did you watch the game? They're like, no, I got this hat on sale.
I did not keep up on really anything happening in the NBA playoffs over the weekend. It was all the Arkansas LSU series, which was
we got one
entertaining.
Though, right?
Yeah, they got one yesterday. Softball got good news yesterday. Number 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, hosting in Fayetteville, so they'll be home for the postseason, trying to fight to Oklahoma City for the first time. Big Friday now in Fayetteville with softball playing St. Louis at 5:30 in the afternoon, and baseball in Tennessee at 6:30 that night. And they got a win yesterday and needed it yesterday. You don't ever want to put like too much on one game, but you never want to get swept. Getting swept to me is a sign that things are kind of not right. So yesterday was a good thing to see them fight back. Bullpen fought back. Pitched. The guys yesterday. This was a set of pitchers that had trouble getting outs against Florida, the last game of that series. So it was a good one, Matt. It was good to see them win a game because they hadn't been swept in almost 2 full years. And you want to talk about a sweep? one of the most surprising sweeps I think that I've ever heard of. Missouri beat Texas A&M 3 in a row over the weekend. That's shocking. Remember, Missouri had lost their first 24 league games and then end up sweeping A&M, so that's going to knock them out of the tournament. That means right now you got, 16 in the SEC? 13 of them are, maybe you're going to say, are you going to get all 13 in? Probably not. I think you're looking at like 11 or 12 making it in. And look, the Hogs are still in a great position to be a top 8 national seed. 18 SEC wins. 18 SEC wins is usually going to be enough to get you a national seed. And it did work like that in 2018. But you win 2 games against Tennessee, you're playing at home in the postseason. So that's going to be the best thing that can happen this next series. And Tennessee's struggling. Tennessee's coming in absolutely red hot and angry. I don't mean red hot in like a good way, angry. That they've lost 6 of 7 series and nearly got into an on-field. It was one of those baseball fights that isn't a real fight yesterday when they lost to Vanderbilt. Do you ever have a football fight, Matt? I mean, like your team was involved in a fight that actually turned into something? Because these baseball things very rarely ever turn into something.
Well, and yet Liverpool did draw, but they won the league. Every single season that I've ever been on a football team, they're fights, and it's almost like if you don't have a fight, you're probably not going to be very good. But I think it's just kind of their nature.
Well, the baseball fight there's different levels of baseball fights. There's the stuff that occurs when a pitcher hits a batter, and then you get the guy charging the mound. And you might see, who knows, maybe you'll see something before everybody else starts swarming around him, and then it just becomes a bunch of grabbing everybody's collar. Pull me away, pull me away, pull me away. Yesterday, just looked like Tennessee was probably just angry that they lost another series.
Yeah, and that Vandy pitcher was kind of cocky, too. He kind of baited them, I think. Baited them into that, but that's normal for Tennessee.
I was going to say that's the normal thing for Tennessee, Christian, right? Yeah, you can bait them into getting angry if you want to. And when you win a series on their home field, look, I mean, that's when A&M finished off Arkansas. I mean, they were celebrating, not in a way that I think was, would have been insulting or anything like that, but sometimes you just got to take your L. You got to go back into the dugout and try to figure it out for the next week. And hopefully Tennessee doesn't figure it out this next week. Look, Hogs are going to be playing at home. I feel really good about this. Number 5 RPI. Like the top 10 RPIs are almost all SEC teams. Even one win against Tennessee, even a series lost. You win 19 SEC games, you're going to be top 8. So, but then it goes more into about, all right, well, so if you're playing at home, what's going on with the team right now? Do you have enough pitching? There were signs both positive and negative in that sense over this last weekend against LSU. So, what are you thinking about it? It was a really disappointing game, the second game of the series, 13-3. That was disappointing. And any loss is going to be disappointing when you have your head handed to you on a silver platter and it didn't look like you showed up. Yeah, it's going to be a really disappointing game. But the thing that matters most is what happens the next game, what happens yesterday, what happens against the team that just beat you by 10 the day after, and you had a chance and they went out and they beat them. So I was actually pretty impressed by that. Not bad at all. And oh man, let's see here. I'm gonna have a cloudy head all day long. It's just gonna how it. We played a 4-hour game yesterday on a getaway day, and I was in a car. It's just that brings me back to the minor league days, Matt, because you don't really the way the travel is set up in college baseball, there really aren't very many late nights in the SEC because you get your charter flights and you get a chance to make it home well before the wee hours of the morning. But this last night reminded me much more of minor league baseball travel, in which I made plenty of drives after 4-hour games that started at 7 o'clock. But that was in the time when, again, 26, 27 years old. I could do a full all-nighter. I could do a full 24 hours staying up, a 10-hour drive to San Antonio, and then call a game at the San Antonio ballpark, falling asleep only once on the air, which did happen one time. So if I happen to fall asleep during the show today, you'll know exactly why.
How do you feel about this Razorback baseball team? So last week we get a sweep, right? And then this week we get one win. But, like, how are you feeling? Does it matter too much to you, or the fact that we didn't get swept matters?
I think that you didn't get swept matters. It's the ebb and the flow of a baseball season. And I'm not like bothered by a blowout loss. I'd get bothered by if that affects you the next game, and it didn't affect them yesterday. They actually played really well.
Game
yesterday.
1 was highly competitive. Should have went their way, and we'd be talking about a series win. So that's what kind of keeps me feeling good. I mean, and they didn't get swept, which, like you said, Phil, when you get swept, that's when things can kind of get in your head a little bit.
Well, you want to look. I think that they were affected by Friday's loss on Saturday. I think the team that lost that game that ended after 1 o'clock was just affected by that. If Arkansas would have won that game, maybe they would have come out and played, a good game on Saturday. But that was the worst game they played all year. If it would have happened yesterday, I think you'd be a little bit worried. If you follow up getting blown out with another poor performance, whether it's in the field or at the plate or on the mound. But I thought yesterday they played a full game, played really well. So, here's the other thing. LSU, the two pitchers they face, the starters, Anderson Friday and Ianson Saturday, I think that's the best 1-2 punch in terms of starting pitchers, at least that we've seen this year. Those are really, really tough pitchers. I mean, they got Arkansas batters into tough counts all series long, and those are the kind of pitchers that can really, carry you, save a bullpen. I think LSU's bullpen is a bit of a weakness, and I think that showed yesterday late in the game. And when Arkansas had fresh arms in an Aiden Jimenez, who kind of bounced back, had at least a better performance than he did on Friday, and then Parker Coyle, first time out in 7 weeks, in a pressure cooker to strike out a batter and get a soft line out with the tying runs batting. I thought that was huge. So, I mean, Matt, after a sweep of Texas, everybody lets their imagination run wild while you're trying to tamp down the joy at the same time, knowing that you've got a really good LSU team coming up next. So winning 1 out of 3, that's the thing about going on the road. Going on the road in college baseball is really difficult, especially in this league and especially at that ballpark. I mean, that's a park where Arkansas has won 2 series ever, and they've been going every other year since 1992. I mean, these are some of the best Razorback teams ever. Couldn't win a series at LSU. But winning 1 game, that says something. I think that says something. And then winning this next series against Tennessee ought to say something too, because you got a team in Tennessee that should be desperate because they're playing even to play at home in the first round. This Tennessee team, which was number 1 at one point, losing 6 of 7 series, they're looking at going on the road for a regional if they don't maybe not even win this series, but sweep the series. So, and then there's the added emotion of Arkansas-Tennessee is always something that's going to be very entertaining. I mean, you got the 2 ties between the program, but it's more than that. It's not just the ties. It's the fact that these now, for the last, 5-6 years, have been 2 of the top teams in the SEC. And again, it could end up being a matchup. Well, here's the thing about this. If Tennessee goes on the road, who knows? You may end up seeing Tennessee-Arkansas in a super regional, which would be less than a month after they play in this last regular season series. Halftime on a Monday. We'll open the phone lines in the Lewis Automotive Hotline over the next segment at 877-377-6963. There's just one guest with us today. That's Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation. He'll be at the bottom of this hour, so lots of time for you to get with us throughout the show. Stay with us. Halftime is back in just a moment.
I think it's your girlfriend called. Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Andy White perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Take that all day. I need to sit though. Finally make a putt. Let the tap in force.
Golf is back. Shop polos, hoodies, and Q-zips at Rhoback.com.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Bet online. The game starts here.
Of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, we've got Mike Irwin with us, a segment early today. Mike, of course, with Pig Trail Nation, and we appreciate his time on a Monday. Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. A lot better than I was about 24 hours ago. I wasn't sure if Arkansas was going to get swept or not. That game 3 was huge. I don't know how many fans understand how important that was. It keeps them in second place, lets them determine their own fate in that regard. I don't know that they can catch Texas, but they can stay in second if they do the right things this weekend. So that helps. I know there's a lot of people frustrated. I really thought the pitching, except for that game 2, was pretty good. I mean, Jimenez, I don't know what happened there. He had trouble walking in 2 separate appearances. But if you really look at what they did in game 3, they pitched 6 guys, and only 2 of them gave up runs. Beidelshees gave up 3 on 4 hits, went 2 innings. Jimenez went 1 1/3, gave up 3 hits and gave up a run. But look at Dylan Carter, 2 innings, just 2 hits, no runs. Christian Fouch, 1 2/3, 1 hit, no runs. Cole Gibbler, 1 1/3, no hits, no runs. And then Parker Coyle, that was just amazing, guys. To sit out that long and come into a situation where you got the tying run at the plate for 2 straight batters, and to get out of that situation, I just think it's very positive.
Well, and you're right about yesterday's game and the importance of it. But in the context of what this last weekend it was also about, you got a good start from Zach Root. The start by Gage Wood was concerning, just because he had trouble putting batters away in the first inning, and then pitched from behind in the count in the second inning. And look, he's the guy that's going to be the pitcher that gets the ball on a Saturday, hopefully in what's a 1-0 game of a regional, and you want to feel like you know what you're going to get from that pitcher. And I think right now you may be in that spot with Zach Root. There's a little blip maybe 3-4 weeks ago, but for the most part in SEC games, he's been a consistent competitor and consistently good. Wood, there's been a little up, there's been a little down since he's come back from his injury, and that's why it's like this next start for him against Tennessee, I think, is really important just to show that he can be back to. He doesn't have to be where he was against Texas, but you can't be where you were against LSU.
Well, his history has always been that he's much stronger at home than he is on the road. I expect him to bounce back this week. The issue is what does he do, in postseason? If you're at home and you're in a regional, super regional, fine. What does he do at the College World Series if you get there? And I don't know, but that is concerning. You need that, and I think they were counting on that. But the good news is, and I haven't even talked about Hunter Dietz, but my goodness, I mean, I think he got charged with that run, which I don't see how that happened. It was just the scorekeeper, but it was the throwing error that allowed the run to score. But he came in and did his job. He got that third out, and that was encouraging to me to see him pitch like that. And then Coyle, I mean, you just look; those are 2 guys that you can now add to the bullpen, and I think again, Carter's been pitching well, Fouch has been pitching well, Gibbler's not bad. I'm not all that concerned about pitching. The hitting and the leaving of 28 runners on base. They kept talking about on the broadcast how Arkansas was the best in the country at driving in runs in critical situations, and they just went backwards in that regard this weekend. And a lot of people are frustrated, especially with the 2 Aloy brothers and Iredale. What they're doing discipline-wise at the plate, you can see the way they're throwing the ball to these guys. They're putting it on the outside edge and expecting to lean out and swing or drop a curveball or a change-up down at the ankles, and they're going after it. And you can see other batters not going for that. You can see other batters showing more discipline. So I think there's some concern there. What's going on with those guys? The hitting came back against Texas. It wasn't what you want when you go on the road like that. If they'd have hit the ball a little better, they would have won that series. I know everybody thinks, Jimenez is the one that caused them to lose that game one, and he did with the walks, but if you hit better, you're not in that situation.
Hey, Mike, what do you give, like, percentage chance-wise if you're to say, the Arkansas Razorbacks are going to win the national championship in baseball, and then who are kind of like your top 3 or 4 teams that you think have a chance to win it this year?
I think you can just throw in. I think LSU obviously is in the mix. Florida, I don't know what's going to happen with them, but they were really hot. It's one of these things where if a team gets hot suddenly at this time of year, and the SEC is so good, it's going to be interesting to see how many SEC teams are in Omaha, and is it an SEC type shootout at Omaha, or is it somebody else outside the SEC get into the mix of that and maybe make it to the championship series? I think Arkansas has a shot. This is, talent-wise, good enough to get there. Again, they're going to have to hit better, and they're going to have to, I think their starting pitching has got to be more consistent on at least 2 of those 3 days. They've got a good bullpen, but those are the 2 concerns. Are you going to go back into that situation where you're leaving runners on base, which was a problem last year? And if not, then this, how many times did we hear the game announcer say Arkansas is the most complete team, pitching, hitting, defense? But then they weren't focused on defense sometimes. So which is it? And I will say this, if you're going to have a little bit of a stumble, this is the period of time when you want to do that. And then we've seen teams can come back. Once postseason play, then it's a different story. So you got to hope that's the case. But it's all going to depend on getting to Omaha on who's in the regional. We just saw what happened to the women. I think they should have been a national 3 seed. They end up at a 4. And then how do you end up with Oklahoma State as a 2 in that region? That's tough. And Indiana's not just some walkover. So I got one of these questions on Ask Mike. Why does this selection committee in football or baseball and softball constantly do this? They're always more concerned with regional tie-ins. You bring an Oklahoma State down here because they're close, when that maybe is not the way you should do it if you do it with seeding. I mean, technically, guys, the number 1 regional, whoever has the number 1 regional, the worst 2 seed in the tournament, lowest rated 2 seed, should be the 2 seed in that regional. And you go all the way down and do it that way. But we know that's not what happens. We know that's how TCU ended up here in this regional a couple of years ago. They probably deserved to have their own regional. They certainly didn't deserve to go to Arkansas. They should have gone to a lower number. It really wasn't fair to them. It worked out, but they just don't do these things, selection committees, sometimes based on seeding. There are other factors. There's this interesting tie-in between conferences, or there's a geographical reason for doing that. And I personally don't like it. I think if you're going to seed these things, you ought to seed it all the way from beginning to end.
Mike, it. And I think there's something about any NCAA selection committee with a bat and ball sport that if it works out to where either Oklahoma State or Arkansas is home and the other team has to go on the road, they will always send the Razorbacks to Stillwater and the Cowboys or Cowgirls to Fayetteville. Like always. That's a given. Even if Stillwater may be closer to there's some teams in Texas that maybe they could go play. They're going to send them to Fayetteville, and they're going to send the Hogs to Stillwater. I think it's probably an unwritten rule in the NCAA selection offices.
Again, maybe they find maybe that's not their mission. Maybe when they sit down and select this field, they don't say it should all be based on seeding. But shouldn't it be? Why do you seed teams based on their performance during the year if that's not what you're going to go with? Now, again, to me, why is Arkansas softball a 4 seed? Why are they not a 3? How did that happen? How does Florida get into that and jump ahead of them? So there are just some things that the way they do this that are questionable, but it happens in basketball too. Anytime you have a selection committee, and you do this in football, you have they select this thing and seed it, and then you get people mad. It never ends. Maybe that's what keeps people interested in it. Everybody argues about what the selection committee did.
How about, what do you think? So this series with Tennessee ought to be a high-level series, but independent of that, when these teams meet, there's emotions. And it's not even just Arkansas versus Tennessee. It's Tennessee versus everybody. There is no team that I see in the country in any sport that plays with more false bravado, is that the word, than Tennessee? Yeah. Is that the right way to put it?
Well, certainly not decorum. It's in your face. It's hit a home run and go by the opposing dugout and make gestures and do things like that. Van Horn always has said, he tells his guys, we don't want to do any of that. I don't want that. You know, cheer your own teammates. Don't. And we saw Oklahoma State do that in that Stillwater Regional a few years ago. I don't like that. But, you know, Tennessee is struggling right now. They're hurting. And they need this badly. And Arkansas needs to take advantage of the fact that those guys they're dropping like a rock. They probably have been hurt more in the last month and a half than any other team in the SEC. I mean, their fall is greater than Arkansas's. I mean, they're not even close to the Razorbacks now in terms of second place. I had an eye on them for a long time. Now it's just LSU and I guess Georgia. So, you know, we'll see. But you would think Arkansas could win 2 or 3 in this series, and that's what they need.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you a little bit about some NBA? I don't know if you've been watching, but Oklahoma City, a couple Arkansas guys, they tied it up 2-2. You got a favorite in the NBA this year?
No, I mean I like them, you know, just because of, you know, the 2 guys they have there. Cal shows up over there. Fans like him for doing that. So, you know, I hope that they pull through there, but I got I'm not enough of an NBA fan or even watch it enough to give you a good answer on that. I just hope the Thunder win. You know, I like it anytime they do because you got Razorbacks on that team.
Did you see the clip of Cal with the facial hair? It's kind of funny because for one thing, I thought, wait a minute, that doesn't really look like John Calipari. Wait a minute, that is John Calipari. So he doesn't wear the tie anymore with the suit, but are we going to go to longer hair and a beard next season?
I'm not sure. I just know that this guy, he's interesting. I will just tell you that. I mean, he's been totally different here than I thought he would be. I mean, I think he's fit in well. I think the fans like what he's doing. I think he knows how to do PR. I think this whole thing where we're just sitting around twiddling our thumbs for a month now trying to figure out, is he done recruiting or not? And I keep being told by people I talk to, I don't think they're done. There may be a surprise at the end of this thing. So he just keeps people, you know, he has a way of keeping you interested in basketball even when it's not basketball season.
Yeah, he's just fun to listen to talk, that's for sure. Mike, we'll leave it there, and we'll do it again next Monday as long as you got the time. Thank you.
Okay, see you guys.
Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin with us each Monday on Halftime. Can open up the Lewis Automotive Hotline for the next segment, 877-377-6963. I think I detailed in the first segment that I did fall asleep on a Traveler broadcast once. I might get into that in a moment if I don't fall asleep during the break. Stay with us.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
This is Halftime.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. 0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
At Mosquito Joe, we're constantly looking for ways to make your outdoor experience better. That's why we always use the latest technology.
Technology? To get rid of bugs?
Well, most mosquito treatments only eliminate mosquitoes that are around when it's applied. But did you know, at Mosquito Joe, we use products that are microencapsulated, so they continue to work for weeks after our technician leaves your property.
Now that's pretty cool.
Yeah, at Mosquito Joe, we love making outside fun again. Advanced products, top quality service, and all done with a satisfaction guarantee.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
It's all about connections. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center with Shared Beginnings invites you to their Community Connections event on Saturday, May 17th from 10 to 2. Everyone is invited to a fun-filled, action-packed day with vendors, food, car seat demonstrations, mommy makeovers, giveaways, games, and lots of fun. For more information about this event or to participate as a vendor, call 452-2260. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center with Shared Beginnings. The Community Connection event, May 17th.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Promise I'm changing. Back from the dark. But if I would see you, I'd fall apart. Is she all that you are? Is she all that you need? I'd be there in a hurry. Baby, come back to me. There's a slip house down across the sea. I'd be there in a hurry. Baby, come back to me. Maybe it's over again. It's hard to accept. As I'm getting older.
listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I guess statute of limitations on doing something like this, 24 years probably is over. You're not supposed to fall asleep on the radio when you're doing anything on the radio. Even if you're doing a show about how to fall asleep properly, you probably are not supposed to fall asleep on the radio. 2001, the Travelers then played 7:30 night games, and I mean we'd had strings of 21 days in a row with a game. Minor league baseball is different now. Now you don't play any more than 6 games in a row. So at a 7:30 game, and then the next day there was a game in San Antonio, Texas. And the team gets on the bus when the game in Little Rock is over, and they're going to have their 10-hour bus ride. But rather than be stuck on the team's schedule, and I'd never been to San Antonio, I figured I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to drive this thing. Why not? I'm 23 years old. We can handle this. It's 9 hours from Little Rock to San Antonio, and I remember driving when the sun was coming up. It was a bit of a different feeling, I think, than I was used to. And, that game later that night, I don't remember the situation. I don't remember the inning. But there was definitely one pitch that I missed because my eyes were closed. It was just one pitch. And you guys know Brian Anderson, who's on TNT and CBS, and, he's one of the great sportscasters of our time now. He was one of the San Antonio broadcasters then, and he caught me with my eyes closed. He joked with me about it afterwards. He says, "How long were you in the car last night?" 9 hours. Maybe not the best idea the next time around. So it wasn't quite that long of a drive last night, Matt, and I promise I will not fall asleep during the show today.
One of my first ever jobs when you're like in high school, you got to kind of get a job or whatever. And I worked at Walmart, and the manager, he said I was the only person that he ever saw that could sleep standing up.
I don't know if I've ever pulled that off, but I definitely fell asleep upright, slightly sitting in the middle of a baseball game. And the thing that woke me up was the sound of the pitch hitting the catcher's mitt, and I made up what happened at that point. It's like ball. I don't even know what it was. Didn't even want anybody to realize that I'd fallen asleep to the 28 people that might have been listening on 88.3 KBF at that night. Yeah, I'm feeling a little close to that, but I felt a little close to that after the Friday into Saturday morning game. That you realized that LSU was 3 minutes short of missing the curfew time to actually start that game. If the game started at, I think, 3 minutes short of 10 o'clock, if they'd have waited 10 o'clock is the last moment that you can start a game in the SEC without a waiver. And Jay Johnson knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. But that's what happens when you go on the road. I mean, you're at the other team's behest, and if they want to start a game at 9:59, .59, they can.
I know we had some people text in on the text line, Phil. What is hemorrhoids? Somebody was saying something like, I have no idea what that is, but apparently it's going around.
Somebody actually asked that on the text line?
Do you see that? Yeah, I was like, what?
Well, they actually want.
Do you know what that is, though? Like,
no.
Yeah, I don't either.
Hemorrhoids?
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of it. I'm not smart enough to tell you though.
Oh.
Well, here, all right. I think at some point you guys may just have to experience that, and then you can detail what it feels like to everybody on the show. Because otherwise, I don't know if I'm qualified.
Fair enough. it was a thing, and I don't know what it is. So
I know it doesn't feel right, and it makes it very difficult to sit without any sort of pain. Just put it in that term. Let's go to the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and here's Brent and Searcy. Hey, Brent, what's going on?
Oh, not much, Bill. I must say I fell asleep Friday night during the game. And I woke up and saw how we lost. Good grief.
That's such a terrible. It's like you fall asleep in the middle of your game. You don't know what's happened. Then you wake up, and the moment you wake up, then you get to find out.
I go to YouTube to watch the highlights, right? And I see that porno stash wearing first baseman jumping up and down, crossing the plate. You know who I'm talking about from LSU. They got worlds of porno mustaches on that team.
Oh, that's just college baseball these days now, Brent. I mean, that's the facial hair of the day now. It's like every college baseball team's got that kind of stash going, and nothing else. No other facial hair, just the stash.
We don't have. Do we have anybody with facial hair on our team?
Oh, sure. I think Ben Bibby's mustache has been described by Brett Dolan as a California Highway Patrolman mustache. But then I remembered. I tried to go back. I watched the Chips the Chips series intro, and Ponch didn't have a mustache, and Larry Wilcox didn't have a mustache, so it wasn't those guys.
Hey, Phil, I was at graduation for my niece yesterday at Harding Academy. Graduated high school. I presented her with a brand new 2025 Bronco Baby Blue. She's going to Ole Miss, so that's appropriate.
Well, we'll congratulate her for graduating Harding, but the choice of school, we joke. Great school. Good for her. What's her name?
Alexis.
Say that one more time, Brian. I want to make sure I say the name correctly. Jessica? Alexis Pagan. Congratulations on your graduation, Alexis, and enjoy your time at Ole Miss. Is that good enough, Brent? Do I need to dress it up a little better?
No.
Okay.
No, that's absolutely great. Fabulous. But hey, Phil, because I was in graduation the whole time until 4:00. So Vital Cheese went 2 innings, right?
Yeah, Landon just I'm not too sure what's going on with him right now. He's having a lot of trouble keeping the ball in the ballpark. It happened again yesterday with the 2 home runs.
So what are we going to third starter, Phil, this weekend?
You know, I think they're going to go. It'll be Root and Wood, and then a TBA for the third game. And if you can't get more than 2 or 3 innings from Vital Cheese, I'm not sure if you keep him in that role. Now, he would have pitched as a reliever either the first 2. In fact, he got warmed up on Friday when it looked like Root may have hurt his wrist on the diving play at home plate, but he didn't hurt it. Just looked like he was flexing it around. So Vital Cheese starts warming up. I'd like to see him as a reliever now and see if it works. And I don't know if you want to turn. That's the thing. I don't like the idea of turning a third game into a bullpen game. But that's what it is already, right? And if you're only getting 2 innings or 3 innings from your starter, then it's a bullpen game anyway. So that just may be what you have right now, unfortunately. And I don't know if they're going to move Jimenez to a starting role. I'd be interested to see him as a starter. I just don't know if you're going to make that change in the last week of the regular season.
That was the question I was going to ask you. Would we make Jimenez a starter this late in the year? And I'm with you. I'm interested to see what happens there. So, do you think he's locked up a host guy all through?
I think another win would go a long way. I just think it's going to be really difficult to keep a team that will have a top 8 RPI and 19 or 20 SEC wins out of being a top 8. So 2 wins, it's a guarantee. 1 win, I think you still have the resume to do it. But I don't. Here's the other thing that too. So you look at 1 win, does it get you a national seed? Sure. If you lose your last series at home, how are you going to feel about playing at home in a regional or a super regional? So especially against a team that right now in Tennessee that's having trouble putting 2 wins together on a weekend. So I do feel it's not like Arkansas is desperate. I think Tennessee is desperate. I want to see 2 wins. I think 2 wins would be huge. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Hey, later on this week, World Whiskey Day is coming up. It's Saturday, World Whiskey Day. You can celebrate it at Twin Peaks. It's your source for some of the top whiskeys on any shelf. Tried and true favorites. All the new drinks as well. They've all poured over crystal clear giant ice balls and allocated whiskeys varying by location at Twin Peaks. The Rogers location open Monday through Friday, and you can go online to twinpeaksrestaurant.com to order your Twin Peaks Lodge favorites to go or delivery. And we invite you to stay with us on halftime. We'll be back to wrap up hour number 1 after this.
Last issue. Chaz Michaels is figure skating.
This is halftime.
It's Kubota Orange Days at Gray Brothers Equipment with interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months and reduced pricing on all Kubota inventory. It's time for your new Kubota at Gray Brothers Equipment. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 6/30/25, see Gray Brothers Equipment or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Come in and enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this plus a drink for only $8.99. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Someone down, overcome pain. On both sides of I was broken. Oh mama, I'm the one trying to hide this damage done. One day, all our secrets will be spoken. As we slow dance, I became your statue frozen. Times I wondered, are we just a puff of smoke? Yeah.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Want to go right to the Lewis Automotive Hotline here in a short segment. We got Greg in Farmington that's called us. Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Hey, brother, how's everything going? Got a question for you because the softball team they got their regionals this weekend. So I know Thursday's not going to be a conflict, but Saturday it shows the Lady Razorbacks playing at 6:30. Is there any chance of them possibly moving the starting time of baseball so the fans can kind of get in both? And I'm going to leave you with this thought for the weekend because I'm over LSU. I'm not worried about that. I'm focused on Tennessee, but our friends down south, they have Oklahoma. And so I'm just going to leave with this thought. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. #Boomer. Y'all have a great week, and I'll talk to y'all Thursday.
Yeah, Oklahoma should be desperate too because it's not they should be a tournament team, but after getting swept by Kentucky this last weekend, they're 13-14 in the SEC, and they're very well looking at going on the road unless they sweep Texas. A sweep over Texas may end up doing big things for them because Texas still has a great RPI. For the Saturday game, I don't think they'll move the start time for baseball. SEC Network picked the game up. It's 2:00. You don't change the start times when either of the linear networks picks up the game. So you may end up with two games being played simultaneously. Though I guess I would expect that softball, if they win the first game, that they play the second game in the regional on Saturday, which is usually a night game, right? Yeah, they don't have a start time for it, but it would be the second game or the last game on the Saturday. So I don't remember how the way they structure the softball regionals is a little different than the baseball regionals. Because you end up with 3 games on Saturday instead of 3 games on Sunday. So it looks to me like you'd be the second game on Saturday if you win. But you can't change the start time of the baseball game. You'll just end up with simultaneous games being played about a quarter of a mile away. Hour number 2 on halftime coming up here in just a moment. We'll have 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center. And lots of times for your calls and texts as well. That Lewis Automotive Hotline will be open at 877-377-6963. I figured we might also start throwing in I don't know if we'll do it daily, but maybe on a weekly basis or maybe a bi-daily basis. How bad are the Pirates today? This is a great franchise right now. You fire the manager. You had a fan fall out of the stands who is alive and is aware and walking, shockingly. You had a game day employee belt whip a fan, and then the interim manager realizes he's the manager of the Pirates, so he gets ejected in his second ever game. Yeah, that's running a real winner over there. We're running a real winner in hour number 2. Stay with us on halftime.
For years, Mosquito Joe has been the go-to service for mosquitoes, ticks, and fleas all across Arkansas. Making outside fun again for Arkansans is our passion. But over the past few years, there's been an increasing problem outside.
Fire ants.
Bingo. They're everywhere now. And if you've ever gotten to a pile of them, and I'm sure you have, you immediately know.
Outside is not fun.
Yep. That's why Mosquito Joe is now providing fire ant control. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, your life can change in an instant. and you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw & Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at votawlaw.com. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Right now, the Home Depot has spring deals under $20. So no matter what you're working on, the deals are blooming at the Home Depot with savings on plants, flowers, soil, and more. Then light up your outdoor space with Hampton Bay string lights. Was $34.97, now only $19.99. And get the grill going with two 16-pound bags of Kingsford charcoal. Was $19.98, now only $17.88. Don't miss spring deals under $20 now through May 7th at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, valid on select items only.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission's simple: improve the quality of life in our communities. We've expanded to several non-member areas to help new communities. If you live in areas near Altus, Branch, Coxville, Mountainburg, Murray, Spur, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect may be available to you right now. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect will continue opening new areas throughout 2025.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, showers and chance of some thunderstorms are high this afternoon in the low to mid 70s. We will see showers and a chance of storms tonight, and overnight low will drop down in the middle to upper 50s. Tuesday, a bounty of sunshine, high temperatures on Tuesday in the low to mid 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
There's only one Razorback. Isn't it the greatest mascot of all time?
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
It depends on where you, by the way. Very professional time.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
That ain't but one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning. Welcome. Good afternoon, for crying out loud. See what I mean? This is what happens when you don't go to sleep until 3:40 in the morning after driving 6 hours after a 4-hour baseball game. Welcome back in. Halftime continues on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, Matt Jones in studio, alongside Kristen Johnston. 3 up, 3 down in the next segment, so we're wide open for you at the moment. I didn't listen to the morning rush today. Anybody hear from Ty Richardson? Did you see Ty at in the building
Ty,
today?
Ty looks very dapper today. He looks very nice. I mean, you think he probably has to carry a stick around him with all the girlfriend, just kind of keeping them away type thing.
Well, that's actually a stick of hair stuff that keeps it all in its proper working manner. So did he do it? Was it supposed to be behind enemy lines this last weekend? He was supposed to be in Baton Rouge. Now, you remember the airline company that we've flown with a few times, the athletics teams?
Breezy Airways?
Easy breezy. Ain't much that's really easy about breezy sometimes. And I think Ty realized that Friday. So it sounded to me like he didn't make it to the baseball game that didn't even start until 9:57 at night because of a delay, which is not his fault. When you buy a ticket on Easy Breezy Cheesy, it is your fault at that point. So he didn't get to that game. It was a great game. Like that Friday into Saturday morning game, as much as it sucked to lose it, that was a great baseball game. Just really entertaining. And to the LSU fans that stuck around, It was a third of the stadium that was full, and it sounded much louder than that. They were up for it, man. So the one game that he did make it to, because yesterday he dealt with more problems with Easy Breezy Cheesy, and he was supposed to fly out at 3:30 in the afternoon for a game that starts at 3. So that means the only game that Ty Richardson attended at Alex Box Stadium was Saturday's 13-3 loss, which plays the other two games were close, tight, and the Hogs could have won the first game. They did win the third game. This plays right into the whole thing of behind enemy lines, which there's two ways to look at this. One, please, Arkansas, please win this next series against Tennessee so that we're guaranteed to stay at home. That way Ty can actually maybe go to regional or super regional games and don't have to blame him on anything. And then if this team does go to the College World Series, we're going to have to lock Ty up. We're going to have to throw him into a dungeon, a nice dungeon, padded walls, some place to sleep, maybe a thin pillow, some gruel and dirty water so he can at least survive through the College World Series, but he's not allowed to be there. He can't keep him away from this team when they're away from Baum. Pretty please.
So your boy Gene Hackman and Owen Wilson, they got a pretty decent movie that's called Behind Enemy Lines. Probably a little better. I wonder if C Movie over here, if what'd you think?
Oh, of Rounders?
Oh man, there was some funny moments.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it is a great movie. When they got beat up by those cops,
caught a hanger sarge, winning before he got here.
Oh my gosh, that was great.
Pay him.
He beat me fair. And
Pay that man his money.
There you go.
That's the only line I remember from this.
Splash the pot whenever
that kind of shocked me. That part. I was thinking he was gonna like flip out and say I'm not paying him and all that.
You remember the last time I
Pay that man
your money
his money.
Beat me
It's
fair.
just such a great Russian accent. Has there ever been a greater Russian accent by anybody in movie history than that one right there? By John, I don't even remember his name. Didn't he have like a one name?
KGB.
That's it. It was KGB. That's what it is.
And then Worm was the guy.
I'm just surprised you still have a friend called Worm.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't even play. It's like I'll be really quick and you won't.
But that's also in an era where any movie that Matt Damon is in, is he not? He's a genius in every single movie in the late 90s. We got to get to a point where Matt Damon plays a moron.
He had a great poker face. He had a great one.
Let's talk to the tuna. 877-377-6963. Speaking of Matt Damon, what's up, Charlie?
Well, what's up, guys? The tuna does not have a great poker face. I will tell you that. I am terrible at poker, probably because of that. Like, I'll give it away. Like, this guy's just sitting over, like, don't play poker with the tuna. Well, if you want to win, I guess you should play poker with the tuna. If you're good. Matt, I bet you can keep a straight face. No one can, you're pretty good in poker.
It helps to have all that facial hair.
It can hide everything, huh?
Yeah, nobody can tell.
I thought about the series over the weekend, and you thought. Well, let me touch on this real quick too, Phil. You're worried about Pittsburgh. How about those Rockies? Well, how about those Colorado Rockies right now? Are you sure that Pittsburgh's worse off than them?
What do they got? Like 6 wins this year?
They just canned Bud Black, their manager. No, Charlie, I'm not worried about the Pirates. I stopped worrying about them a long time ago. That's not worry. It's pity.
Funny now.
Yeah, it's pity. Yeah. What it is. It's not worry.
It's kind of like I'm a Cowboys fan, and I know it's different in the baseball, but I kind of have to laugh at the Joneses sometimes with some of the things they say or do, because if I don't, I'd lose my mind. But anyway, I wanted to talk about the series this weekend. Look, Friday, as late as the game was, and the tuna did stay up and watch the whole thing. I wasn't, I know people were frustrated that we came up short. I was proud of Geichel for coming in there. I thought he pitched well. Look, one got away from him, and they hit it out the park. I mean, I think he goes 3 1/3, Phil, I think, or something like that. And I mean, 5 strikeouts. He gave up 2 hits, that 1 run, but what was our percentage of runners in scoring position this week? It wasn't very good.
No, they didn't hit well with runners in scoring position.
Even yesterday, I don't think they did as well as they could have. But I thought yesterday, I did like the fight yesterday when they got down 2 strikes and a lot of their at bats, even the ones where they got called out on. or whatever. I thought yesterday the fight, putting together good at bats after good at bats, and it's hard, man. I think the shade there between the middle of the game was definitely hard for I know batters to see the ball coming their way. So I give both teams credit in Game 1 and Game 3. I thought it was, I don't even know who we were in Game 2. They just kicked our ass. I'll just put it that way. As simple as that. But, LSU, man, they do have a shot, though, Phil, to win this thing, because I don't know of anybody right now. I want Gage to get back to where he was, but who has a better Saturday starting pitching duo than that?
I don't know of anyone. That's true. The thing, though, for LSU is I'm not, and this goes also right now to Arkansas, because Gage Wood will bounce back. Gage is going to be fine this next weekend. I think he's going to be okay. Hogs have 2 starting pitchers, and right now searching for a third, and that's what LSU is doing too. And I do think that the Razorback pen may be a little bit deeper than LSU's bullpen. Any team will be in trouble if you lose the second game of a regional. But I do wonder about LSU, like if they go to a super and they split the first 2, what happens for them the third game? I wonder about their pitching. I mean, they're throwing. That was the thing yesterday. The only reason Arkansas scored in the last inning was all the walks, and that's just they were scraping the bottom of the bullpen, and they just didn't have strike throwers. The bottom of the bullpen for Arkansas yesterday was Parker Coyle and Cole Gibbler and Aiden Jimenez. Gibbler was really, really good, and getting Coyle back. Like, I don't think you can overstate the importance of getting a strike-throwing left-hander who is comfortable in pressure cooker situations like Parker Coyle. I think that's huge for this team. Even if it's just an inning or 2 innings on a weekend, he's going to get the ball in some very big moments, because he did yesterday, and it reminded me of him as a freshman when he was the last reliever in the pen on a Sunday against A&M in a game they had to win, and he saved it against a good Aggie team. So I thought getting Coyle back and healthy and looking as good as he does is absolutely huge. Thank you, Charlie. Good to hear from you, and Charlie always has the beep on the end of his phone calls as well. 877-377-6963 if you got a text for 3 Up, 3 Down, which is coming up in just a moment. And the Saturday game, to me, is a throwaway game. It's not indicative to me that the Hogs can get their butts kicked. It's just indicative to me that happens to every team at least once a year. You look at last year's juggernaut Tennessee team, they got run-ruled, I think it was by Georgia, but they won the next 2 games. That's what matters. It's not what happens in the game that you get your ass kicked, because it happens every year, even to the best teams. It's what happens the next game. Those are the things that when we point out this isn't football, that this is not football. Like if it happens to you on a Saturday in the football season, you get your ass kicked, you'd be a little bit worried about that, because you got 6 more days until the next game, and you only have 12 games anyway. In a 56-game season where you get 3 on the weekend, it's not that blowout loss. It's what happens the next day. They showed a lot yesterday. I want to remind you about Crabtree RV Center in Alma. If you're thinking about big adventure plans for the family over the summertime and you got an RV that you're thinking about, they have that RV on the lot at Crabtree RV Center. Plus the best RV purchasing experience to choose the right RV, personalized financing, and a top-of-the-line parts and service department right there on site. Crabtree RV is where I-40 and I-49 come together, right beside the Cracker Barrel in Alma, and online at crabtreerv.com. Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center joining us in a moment with 3 Up, 3 Down.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Sandy White Perch.
big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and
Just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Take that all day. I need to sit though. Finally make a putt. What the tap in pars?
Golf is back. Shop polos, hoodies, and Q-zips at Rhoback.com.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Bet online. The game starts here.
Right now, the Home Depot has spring deals under $20. So no matter what you're working on, the deals are blooming at the Home Depot with savings on plants, flowers, soil, and more. Then light up your outdoor space with Hampton Bay string lights. Was $34.97, now only $19.99. And get the grill going with two 16-pound bags of Kingsford charcoal. Was $19.98, now only $17.88. Don't miss spring deals under $20 now through May 7th at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, valid on select items only.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Long distance run, what you standing there for? Get up, get out of the door. Echo music on the floor. Drown in your laughter and get to the core.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
You just don't hear music like this very often on sports radio. You'll hear music from the Dad and Fish during the World Series and baseball playoffs on Fox, But when you hear it here on a Monday on halftime, you know it's time for 3 Up, 3 Down.
It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
3, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
What does 3 Up and 3 Down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Dr. Liggett, what's up?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Doing all right, man. You've been around for about an hour in studio. You've been jacked up to get this segment going here. What's new today?
Yeah, moving a little bit slower today.
You are?
Had a fun weekend.
Oh boy, I'm moving a lot slower today. I had a fun weekend too, but just a very lengthy drive last night. I'll start with my first up, and it is just a baseball series in Baton Rouge. There's something different about going to Alex Box Stadium for baseball, just like there is something different about going to Baum Walker for baseball. And I anticipated, I thought, just looking at the weather for Friday, that we would have one of those games, knowing Jay Johnson is not shy about starting a game as late as he possibly can. The weather was going to be just fine Saturday and Sunday. They could have played a doubleheader Saturday. But that's the kind of gamesmanship that Johnson uses. And Friday's game was just so good. And, you know, we can make fun of LSU fans for this and that. They're a dedicated group of baseball fans. And that's a reason why going there is so much fun, because the crowd is unique and it's different, just like Baum is unique and different. I think these are two of the best crowds in college baseball. They make the atmosphere what it is. I didn't smell the corn dogs this weekend. I don't know what it was. They usually be making them there. They'd be growing, be frying them out in the parking lots or everything. I just didn't smell it. So I don't know. It was a great baseball weekend in Baton Rouge. I just used to smelling frying oil. I just didn't smell it at all. My first down is the drive between Baton Rouge and Little Rock. There's maybe 30 miles of interstate. And a lot of really small towns to go through, and you got to really be paying attention to those speed limits. And yes, those speed limits do drop about 15 miles per hour in about a split-second difference. And we know those are designed for a specific purpose. And yes, I'm looking at you, Lake Providence, Louisiana. That's my first down. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, first up goes to Michael Jordan is going to be on some NBC coverage of some basketball. How cool is that? And then my first down goes to your girl, Mrs. Belichick. She got third place in the Miss Maine. So good for her.
She was actually in the Miss Maine pageant?
All 24 years old. Yep. Yeah, she was Mrs. Belichick. She's one of my favorite.
Well, that's obviously because the balls weren't deflated enough in her competition. And they didn't. Belichick wasn't able to get enough video of her competitors and their talents.
You're right. You got to scout better.
He's way too busy coaching a North Carolina football team to cheat for his girlfriend. Go ahead, Dr. Liggett.
Okay, so I'm gonna put my first up and down together. So start with my first down was I actually missed the first baseball game that I've missed, either listening or watching or being there. And I don't know how long. It's been a long time. But I missed it because I was at the Sphere in Vegas watching a Dead and Company show. And so I'm seeing all the texters texting in about the Dead. If you've never been to the Sphere, it's the most amazing thing. Please go. Everybody needs to go. It is unbelievable. Even if
are the tickets is it feasible? It's just, to me, if you're looking at a place like that, I just wonder if the tickets are affordable, anything close to affordable.
So there are the lower level, like by the stage, you can't see all the graphics and everything on the screens. They're, I think, maybe a couple $100, and then it goes up depending on where you are. It's one of the most expensive concerts I've ever been to, but I'm telling you, it's a bucket list thing. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. It completely blows your mind. I think that people that didn't like the Grateful Dead would still have a blast. I mean, but I think the Eagles are playing there now. But it was so much fun. I mean, it was. I hated missing that game because I've heard you say how awesome it was, and went back and watched the recaps and stuff. But wow, just blown away by that show.
Who was singing lead for Dead and Company? Don't they have a couple different guys that are usually performing?
John Mayer has been. for several tours in a row. So he's kind of been their guy. And then O'Teal Burbridge on bass. And
where do you put John Mayer when it comes to just guitar playing? Is he like Gary Clark Jr.? Like, how good is he just at? Because I don't know that I necessarily like his voice, but he's very talented when it comes to playing.
An incredible guitar player. He's really, really good. That the whole band, everything was great. I can't say enough about it. I was just definitely exceeded my expectations. But it was cool because a group of us that I went to dental school with, we meet up every year in a different city and kind of do something fun. And so this is all my old dental school guys, and we had a long, fun weekend.
Well, it sounds like fun there, Dr. Liggett. It's worth missing a Razorback baseball game, I think. Knowing you, that's worth missing an entire baseball weekend. All right, so I got a second up here. My second up, I'm going to go with the Arkansas bullpen from Sunday. And this is very much the same group of pitchers that got knocked around by Florida. And, looking in the Texas series, struggled a little bit at times too. So who did we have pitch on Sunday? Was Dylan Carter, 2 scoreless, Christian Fouch, 1 2/3 scoreless, Cole Gibbler, 1 1/3 scoreless. Gibbler striking out maybe the best freshman in the country to keep a scoreless inning in the 6th. Aiden Jimenez, 1 1/3, 1 run, and then Parker Coyle, 2/3 of an inning, no runs. The Razorback bullpen pitched the final 7 innings yesterday, allowing just 1 run, and they struck out 11 batters in those 7 innings. Now that's it's very much the same lineup that the day before scored 13 runs on 11 base hits. So just very, very impressive. I thought that showed a lot about this pen because sometimes you just have to piece a game together. I'd much rather see a starter go 6 innings, but I don't know if that's going to happen on a Sunday or a third game of a weekend right now for Arkansas. I mean, at this point, you're at the point of the season where you are what you are. And right now, you got a couple of the starting pitchers, one of them that I think you feel really, really confident in the way Zach Root's been pitching. The other one, Gage Wood, maybe he's a bit of a wild card, but when he's on, he's going to be the best pitcher on the team. And then after that, you just have to piece it together. And I think there are enough pitchers here in this pen that you can piece it together. It's not the ideal way to go at it, but it worked yesterday against a really, look, LSU's number 1 in one of these polls by D1 Baseball. They're going to be playing at home in the postseason. That's a good LSU team. It's not one of their great all-time lineups, but I think it's a good lineup. And this bullpen pitched really well against them yesterday. So I think that's something to think about. Second down, I'm going to go with the – all right, so I stayed at a Hampton Inn over the weekend in Baton Rouge. And – it's probably a good idea never to go downstairs to the breakfast nook in a Hampton Inn when you didn't go to sleep until 3:30 in the morning earlier that day. It's just too many people. What's it like when you walk into a breakfast nook and the woman whose job is to put the breakfast together, which means she's going to be chipper because you want to have a happy face in front of you when you're eating breakfast, right? She says, "Good morning." But what do you say with a big smile on her face? You try to say, "Good morning," but I don't mean it. And there's all these kids running around and people looking at you, and it's just, I don't know. Much rather have a breakfast in bed, but they just don't do that at Hampton Inns. So the second down to be Hampton Inn. Not the breakfasts, not the food, not the coffee. It's just being around people. Yeah, I think I've just got to stay in the room from now on, guys. So go ahead, Matt.
Second up would be the NBA playoffs. Love it. OKC and Denver 2-2 right now. I see that one going 7. And then the Celtics, they got a dub. So I still think the Celtics will figure it out. My second down goes to hemorrhoids. Who wants hemorrhoids? That doesn't even sound fun, right?
I mean, it sounds like, I think the word kind of details the way it may feel. Look up, for those out there, if you want to chat GPT it or Google it, George Brett hemorrhoids. This was the major story of the 1980 World Series. Yeah, it's tough to play baseball when
The
You can't
Royals
sit.
won World Series in 2015. Is that the only one that's the only time?
Yeah. They lost in 80 to the Phillies. Yeah, Mike Schmidt and George Brett were the top third baseman in baseball then, and they went at each other. But Schmidt didn't have a hemorrhoid problem, and Brett did. Dr. Liggett, what you got?
Okay, so I came across this statistic, and I find it hard to believe. It's amazing. But last year, Aaron Judge was the first player in history to have a season with an OPS that matched Ted Williams' career OPS. That's unbelievable. I mean, how can you say he's not the greatest hitter of all time?
Who, Aaron Judge?
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams.
Well, Ted Williams. Well, that
No, I
would be-
mean, Aaron Judge 1 year was as good as Ted Williams' career average.
Yeah, and keeping in mind that he also missed
for the
parts of
war.
5 years for World War II and the Korean War.
Yeah.
If you added those 5 years in there, he's got I don't say all the records, but a lot of the records.
Yeah,
not even just the percentage records, but maybe home runs,
Maybe home
not
runs.
base hits, but probably walks. He just didn't have. They walked him too much. Yeah, that one's in my wheelhouse. I love Ted Williams. I have a big thing for him there. Did you have a second down?
Yeah, my second down is the Texas freshman who's the I guess their future safety.
Jonah Williams.
Jonah Williams. Yeah, did you see him pimping that walk when they're down 8-1?
Yeah, I did.
Come on, man. You're down 8-1.
There's something up with him. He's a really intense kid. I mean, it wasn't even just pimping the walk. He was yelling at something for every pitch of that at bat.
Yeah,
down
it was
8-1.
it was
He's
weird.
got a weird energy.
And then he takes 6 straight and does a bat flip on a walk. Never seen
I
it
think
before.
that, I mean, we had fans texting into the show last week, Charlie, that said that Williams was challenging them to meet him in the parking lot after the game. And he was bragging about the NIL money that he's making. And then I saw a photo from a Razorback fan that did meet him in the parking lot after a game. And it was a request to get his batting gloves, and he gave him his batting gloves. So,
yeah.
but he also looked like this kid looks like a tank. Like, he's the number one safety recruit in the nation, and he's in school early to play baseball, not football. And if you put another 20, 25 pounds on that frame, he's going to hit like a train.
He's still hitting like 320, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really talented.
Yeah.
Let's see. Third up, I was going to go with the Michael Jordan thing with NBC's coverage too. That's
It's cool, right? Like you want to hear how he dissects, and you just kind of want to hear him talk about the game, kind of like with Saban on when Saban got in. You just kind of like I want to hear what he says.
Well, and you don't hear much from Michael about these things, right? You look on some of the football coverage, and you get some of the really well known guys. Maybe not the greatest of all. Well, now you look. I mean, Tom Brady, he's in the booth. It's not like you're going to get.
I don't care what he has to say, though. Like I'm really just not yeah. I know what you mean, though.
Well, you know where I'm getting at, though. It's like A-Rod. Do you want to know what A-Rod has to say? But he's in the booth too.
Not really. Yeah, not really a fan of A-Rod. That's. Yeah.
Do you want to know what Michael Jordan has to say about the NBA?
Yes, I want to know what Nick Saban has to say too. Yeah.
Well, I also love that because I haven't watched NBA basketball up close in 15, 20 years, but when I did, it was on NBC, and it was Michael Jordan playing, always, every weekend, and the playoffs. So these things go together for me. It's the same thing as like hearing Keith Jackson's voice on ABC. You just those things that go together. Third down. The Arkansas bullpen on Saturday would be the third down. That was about as opposite as yesterday's ball game. So they allowed 9 runs in the last 7 innings of that game. So 9 runs in 7 innings on Saturday, 1 run in 7 innings on Sunday. I would say meet somewhere in the middle, but no, don't meet in the middle. Meet on the Sunday side of that. Go ahead, Matt.
My third up is the Clasico. It was 4-3 Barca. That looks like they're going to win La Liga. And then my third down would be Liverpool got a draw, but it was against Arsenal 2-2, and Liverpool is going to win the league as well.
Dr. Liggett, go for it.
The third up, got to give it to Bree Ellis. How about that Georgia game when she sees 1 strike the whole game, and it's a walk-off grand slam for a big win?
Are you okay? Because Charlie, we talked a little bit about this last week. Her being compared to Barry Bonds, it's greatness, right? Like, Are you into like a softball player being compared to a baseball? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I mean, she's elite. I mean, there are not many people that can do what she does. I mean, same thing with Barry Bonds. You know? I mean,
Well, I also think it's just it's just something fun to put up on a graphic too. I mean, like, hey, look
Yeah.
at the percentages from this player. You remember what this guy did? You remember how you thought it was otherworldly? Well, she's having the same kind of year in a full season, but it's tough to translate baseball to softball. But I didn't. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever at all. Anybody that's like offended by comparing anybody's numbers to Bonds, just get over it.
and I don't know if you're watching the next game, but they had a grand slam that Kramer hit that grand slam in the and so Brie Ellis was on deck, and so if she would have gotten unloaded him up again, it would have been the basically same position for her. It would have been pretty cool.
What's your last one?
My last one is A&M getting swept by Missouri.
Amazing.
I was with you, Phil. I did not think Missouri was going to win a game all year. That's the worst college baseball team, or at least when we played them, and what I've seen of them that I've ever seen in the SEC. And I mean, they almost got run ruled. Yeah, I mean,
It made no sense, Charlie. It made no sense.
I mean, and those are pretty much must-win games for A&M too, right? They're not going to make the tournament now.
They will not. No.
Yeah.
No. They had been playing so well. They had everything to play for. They had all the momentum that they, from winning a bunch of series. They weren't going to be playing at home, but I think they had gathered a lot of confidence together. And then all of a sudden, it's just how does it? If you lose 3 in a row to any other SEC team, you'd be okay. Well, that's baseball. But Missouri to be 0-24 and then to sweep on the road at A&M against a team that was playing as well as the Aggies were. That I'd like to chalk it up to that's baseball, Susan, but I don't know if I can. That didn't make any sense to me, and I don't know how A&M can keep the coach. It's what a roller coaster year for that team.
Starting off number 1 in the country.
Well, we always appreciate your visits, Dr. Liggett. Can you tell us about cosmetic dentistry at River Valley Smile Center?
Yeah, so we do a lot of cosmetics, and so anywhere from just simple whitening to veneers to full mouth reconstruction. We Dr. Johnson, Dr. Cabe, and I have done a lot of training, a lot of continuing education to be able to do things that a lot of people can't do, and really work hard to get your smile looking just like you want it.
That's gorgeous. Well, I know Matt's got very beautiful white pearls in his mouth too, because he's been a patient at River Valley Smile Center for a while now as well.
It is gorgeous. You got to get out there and check them out. They really do take care of you, and once you get there, they treat you like family.
479-646-0706 to call River Valley Smile Center to schedule a consultation. You can also go to their website, rivervalleysmiles.com. Doc, you can take us home.
Come visit us at River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Let's take a phone call from Dee in Bentonville before the break. Dee is on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Dee, appreciate you holding through that segment. What's going on? All right, Dee, we'll try during the next segment since you weren't there. All right, we're back for more halftime in just a moment.
McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What are you trying to be, an Irish R&B singer?
This is halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is halftime.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Family, that's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by EJ and Allen Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Really cares to hold me, but I found a round and hit it upside down. Really dressing easy, and I do enjoy the way he talks me now.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
All right, I planned on doing it last week, but I never really got to it. It's that point of the year, you might as well, because they're really, really bad. How bad are the Pirates today? Well, they weren't bad enough to actually lose a game yesterday. It's shocking to think about that. They should not be winning that many ball games, because they should probably be tanking to get the number 1 overall pick again, so that they can make sure they don't surround that number 1 overall pick with actual talent. But yeah, the Pirates found a way to win a game yesterday against the Braves, 4-3. But I saw the kid who fell from the right field stands, Matt. He's a former college football player. He's lucky to be alive. He sustained injuries to his skull, to both of his lungs, to both sides of his rib cage, and to his spine. But he can walk. and he can walk and he can move around and he can speak, but going to the bathroom is a little painful for him. Go figure what happens when you fall from a 21-foot fence. And then last week, there's a situation at PNC Park where some fan was, I think he was, when I'm reading this, if I'm getting it right, was harassing a concession employee, a Pirates game day employee who's wearing khakis and a polo pirate shirt, intervenes, and the fan keeps coming at the employee, and he actually spit at the game day employee, and then this guy takes off his belt and proceeds to belt whip the Pirates fan with it. Which, how many different fight videos have we seen from football stadiums and baseball parks and hockey arenas and basketball arenas over the last 10, 15 years? I don't remember seeing anybody get belt whipped. Certainly by someone who's paid to be there, too.
That's what I was going to say. Think about your life decisions where you're a grown adult and somebody's whooping you with a belt. Like, you really kind of makes you, I think you got to question every single thing you've ever done if that's happening.
And it was much more entertaining than anything happening on the baseball field. So then the Pirates fire their manager, Derek Shelton. It's not Shelton's fault that they stink. The guy was in a no-win situation. Truthfully, he should be happy. He doesn't have to work there anymore. So they fire him. They end up putting the bench coach, Donnie Kelly, who has to be the only major league manager ever from the school that I finished at, Point Park College, a tiny little school downtown, NAIA. The guy was an NAIA ball player, had like a 10-year major league career, mostly with the Tigers, and now he's a manager. And in the second game that he's ever managed, he's ejected, which has to be the earliest in somebody's managerial career that he's been kicked out of a ball game. The only other way it would be any earlier was if it's the first game you ever managed, which I can't imagine that's ever happened before. But he's got to figure, hold on a moment. It took him like a week to realize, not even a week. It took him 2 days, 2 games to realize that he's in a no-win situation and that he manages the Pirates, and that there are better things to do on a day when there's a Pirates game, even if you're their manager, which is to go in the clubhouse and drink a beer. He got himself kicked out of the ball game. Well done. Smart move. I didn't see what this ejection looked like, but I'll bet you it was more entertaining than yesterday's Jay Johnson ejection, which was very soft by ejection standards. Johnson didn't get his money's worth, but I don't even know if he should have been thrown out of the game. Because it was the umpire's fault in this case. So there's a situation. What was it? It was Justin Thomas's batting yesterday, and it is the 8th inning. So it's tight ball game and everything. And Thomas takes a pitch that probably should have been a ball, is called a strike. 2 pitches later, there's a pitch that probably should have been a strike. Not just called a ball, but the umpire flinched. The umpire made half of a third strike call. Matt, you know how umpires have their first and second strike call, and then the third strike call is always dramatic and practiced and rehearsed? Well, he did half of his third strike call. I think the one that he does is the yellow page tear, when he kind of puts the left hand on the yellow page book and then rips it from the front to the back with the right hand. But all I saw was the left hand go to the front of the fake yellow pages, and then he stopped because he realized he wanted to do a give-back call to Thomas. That's what I thought. And that's what started this situation. You can't flinch. When you're an umpire, and it's the biggest flinch I think I've ever seen for a plate umpire. So Johnson's on the top step of the dugout on the first base side, and he starts complaining, as he should have, because you can't flinch as a plate umpire. I mean, make a bad call, fine, but believe in your call. Make us think that you actually believed in what it is you just called. And the ump does a little bit of an ump show. They always make a big show out of taking the notebook out of the chest pocket and writing a warning in the tiny little notebook. I don't even know how these guys can write in these notebooks. It's the size of your palm. I can't write on that. So he's writing in it, and Johnson shows you flinched. You know you missed it, and that's what got him thrown out. And that's all it was. It was soft. And I want to see, when a coach gets ejected, go get your money's worth. Johnson's making over $1 million. I don't know what the fine is, But go get your money's worth. Turn that hat around. Put it backwards. Get nose to nose. Let's make this really entertaining. But he didn't. It's just kind of very, very soft. And I wanted a better ejection than that. So we just don't see them anymore. Nobody gets thrown out of baseball games anymore. I think it's happened to like eight or nine head coaches in the SEC this year. But that's the only time I've seen it happen during a Razorback game. And DVH hasn't been thrown out. Gosh, has it been a couple years since Dave was last thrown out of a ball game? It's a long time. These reviews are obviously a reason why. But if you get an umpire that flinches, you're going to piss off every coach that's there.
2 for flinching.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was like a slap fight. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. We're back in a moment. We'll wrap up our second hour.
The jerk store called. They're running out of you.
This is halftime.
It's Brad and Stephanie here, owners at Mosquito Joe. Stephanie, lots of people ask us how we ever got involved in Mosquito Joe. Tell them what you told me years ago when we first started.
I said if you figured out a way to keep the mosquitoes out of our yard without coating ourselves and kids with bug spray, then sign me up. And if this works, we have to share this with our friends and neighbors.
To this day, that's the mission of Mosquito Joe. It's our passion to make outside fun again for all Arkansans. Whatever's bugging you outside, we've got the solution.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Old Fort Days Rodeo begins Memorial Day, and Jelco Outdoors is ready to get you and the family ready for the largest sporting event of the year in the River Valley. Save up to $30 off on select Western boots by Ariat, Durango, Justin, R. Watson, Tony Lama, and Twisted X. Buy 2 pair of Ariat or Wrangler jeans and get a 3rd pair free. Plus, receive an Old Fort Days ball cap free with purchase. Jelco Outdoors, the Old Fort Days official merchandise store. Get ready for the rodeo at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more. Call or text Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747. That's 479-274-1747. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover. A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
At the screen, you have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3,
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Wide open for the rest of the show. Lewis Automotive Hotline open, 877-377-6963 to get with us. Today would be the 100th birthday for Yogi Berra, one of the all-time icons of American sports, not just baseball, and author of some of the things that he even said he didn't say. That would be a perfect Yogiism. I didn't say all the things that I said. George Carlin. Yes, Matt, Yogi?
Well, he dunks. He dunks his donuts. Yeah.
No, that was DiMaggio, right?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Did they ever play together? Yeah, they would have played. I think they would have played together. That's too bad. That's close, very close. Got to meet Yogi, too, and interview him about Bill Dickey. There's an Arkansas connection to Yogi Berra. Bill Dickey, the former Travelers player and manager, taught Yogi Berra how to catch. Yogi Berra was not a good catcher. He was a hitter who kind of had a catcher's mitt, and then Bill Dickey taught him how to catch, and the rest is history. In fact, when the Travelers opened Dickey-Stephens Park, they sent me to interview Yogi Berra at Yankee spring training on the field at Steinbrenner Field, which was called Legends Field then. The first question I asked him was, tell me your first memory of Bill Dickey. And then 10 seconds into the answer, and he starts saying, well, he taught me how to catch, and they were best friends. The next thing that happens is a tear wells up in Yogi Berra's eyes and falls down his face. And I'm like, are you serious? I just made Yogi Berra cry. We're going to do another 14 minutes. How am I going to pull this off? It was a beautiful conversation. I think it's cool that there's not just an Arkansas connection, but if you were to go in the short list of people that meant something to Yogi Berra, and Yogi Berra is not just like an iconic baseball player. He's an iconic American. He would put Bill Dickey amongst his most treasured people. We go into our third hour of halftime. Oh, and by the way, 88th birthday of George Carlin, who died in 2008. George Carl also has a birthday today. So George Carlin and George Carl had the same birthday. Carlin would have been 88. Carl is 74, and Tony Hawk, 57 years old today, and still doing things I think that would break my brain.
Your boy Ving Rhames, Pulp Fiction, his birthday today.
Does he still have a Band-Aid on the back of his neck?
Right, 66.
Lost his soul. We have a soul. We're going to bring it to you in hour number 3. Stay with us.
Hey, Ty Richardson, I want to update you what's going on with Jam Mart, and there are 5 locations in Arkansas. The Greenwood location has just implemented state-of-the-art gas dispensers. Come by and see them in Bulldog Country, next to Jules Bakery. You know I love the full-service deli in Jam Mart number 10. I'm excited to announce that the Phoenix location is getting one, too. If you haven't already, make sure to download the Jam Mart Rewards app, become a member, and start saving today. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Hey guys, it's Ethan here at Wheeler Power Sports, and we invite you to join us for our 58th anniversary Kawasaki Open House, May 16th and 17th at Wheeler Power Sports, featuring demo rides on many Kawasaki street bikes, including the Ninja 7 Hybrid, the Ninja 500, the Ninja 650, the Vulcan S, KLR 650, and the Eliminator. Mark your calendars for May 16th and 17th at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Keep your haymaking season rolling with big savings on New Holland hay tools at WT Equipment. Right now, choose 0% financing or cash back on select Discvine disc mower conditioners and roll belt rounders, and save thousands. You'll cut with more confidence, bale faster and tighter, and save for seasons to come. Ask about our industry-leading warranties too. Hurry into WT Equipment for these ready-to-roll savings. Offer ends June 30th. Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, showers and chance of some thunderstorms are high this afternoon in the low to mid 70s. We will see showers and a chance of storms tonight, and overnight low will drop down in the middle to upper 50s. Tuesday, a bounty of sunshine, high temperatures on Tuesday in the low to mid 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Make sure you're subscribed to the Hit That Line Podcast Network. If you do, the podcast will automatically download to your phone. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to your favorite shows. ESPN 95.3.
Can I go so we can get home by 2 o'clock?
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
That ain't but one race back.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back into the third hour, 101 in the afternoon on halftime. This is ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. Phil Elson with Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing. Another 60 minutes. You can get with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. We've dug into Arkansas's series against LSU. You got the Hogs in Tennessee coming up this weekend. Softball will be at home in the regional and hopefully a super regional. Take on St. Louis University Friday at 5:30. Baseball will be 6:30 on Friday. And we'll figure out what Saturday will look like. But it is near postseason time. Hogs will be, the baseball team will be in Hoover next week. We're not sure the day. You win a game, and you're going to end up playing either Thursday or Friday, which is exactly what you want to do. let's see. I want to remind fans, listeners, we're going to be at the Stadium Shop on Friday for Halftime Live, right where we were last Thursday for the Texas series. We're going to be right where we were, I guess, right outside the main entrance with Robert, Elizabeth, and Matt. First 25 that make a purchase get a free Razorback pint glass. And, we had Tuck Fexus shirts that were being sold for the last series. I don't know if we do the same thing for Tennessee. It's a little too many, probably a few too many letters on that shirt.
Man, that was smooth, Phil. Whoa.
So you got to worry about it again.
Steve McMahon over here.
You end up playing them again. Who knows? And play them again. I mean, I think we're at a point where we can say it confidently without worrying that we're going to get fired. Feel pretty good about that now, right?
I like the fact that y'all have that confidence because
you haven't tried it yet.
I don't have. It's a subject I have no interest in.
No reason to. All right. Well, I won't ask you to as well. Got a managerial opening for the Colorado Rockies right now. Anybody want to put in for a job
they
where
got?
they are
Seven?
7-33?
They should hire the Pirates one they just fired. You can't do much worse. You can't do any worse than what you're doing.
The last three teams that are like the worst three teams, they should just combine all three of those teams and kind of be like competitive.
Well, the Rockies would be in position to be relegated if this was European soccer. I mean, they're going to have their third consecutive 100-loss season, and if they're not careful, I mean, you're looking at what was it, 120? I think 120 is still the record for a number of losses in a season by the Mets. You're going to be looking at over 120 for the Rockies. So that's just a tough place to play. It's a tough place to pitch. Rockies have not had a winning season since 2018. Man, that's a long time back. And a couple of 100-loss seasons in a row, looking at probably 120 right now. 877-377-6963 for our Lewis Automotive Hotline. So the Pirates have an opening, and the Rockies have an opening. There's also an opening, Matt, for quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Do you see Derek Carr retired due to an injury that sounds like it occurred after the season, something that he dealt with last year that got worse. So, I mean, for a retirement in May, unless you're Aaron Rodgers and you're just saying, yeah, I don't want to play for anybody anymore, this has to come a little bit out of left field. And it leaves the Saints with Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler. They just drafted Shuck out of Louisville. Rattler got some time last year because Carr was hurt most of the season too.
You know, Spencer Rattler.
He ain't it.
Yeah, but, you don't want to be so hateful. But I agree with you, C-Unit. Colorado Rocky most famous baseball player film, I think Todd Helton. Who do you? Tulowitzki. Like he'd be their most.
I think it'd be Helton because Tulo's not going to be a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Unfortunately. I mean, he's really, really good.
When I Colorado, that's the first thing I think of is Helton.
Tulowitzki's on the Texas baseball staff as an assistant coach. He's been part of that staff for, I think it's been 4 or 5 years now. And
I saw.
It's not like he had a connection to it. He didn't play there. I forget where it was that Tulowitzki played. I think it was It was a California team.
They interviewed him during the Arkansas series on the TV broadcast. It was pretty cool. I bet a lot of people didn't know that. I don't even think I knew it till I saw that interview.
I'd say Helton would be the number one all-time.
Carlos
Rocky.
Gonzalez was pretty good.
My favorite, though, doesn't mean he's got to be the best or whatever, but my favorite, Charlie Blackmon.
He's good.
Center field. Yeah.
Well, he had the giant beard.
He is good.
He had the giant beard.
And he's good. He's.
I think he's been doing commentary, too, for the Rockies. So he's pretty...
Holiday had a pretty good career.
Fairly intelligent guy. Yeah, Holiday had a good career. It's just... Helton played strictly for the Rockies. He's the only Hall of Famer that they have. And I don't think he never played for anybody else. Plus, he's one of 2 Hall of Famers ever to play in the SEC.
He never played for anybody else.
There you go. So Helton's a Hall of Famer. The other Hall of Famer out of the SEC is?
Will Clark.
The Big Hurt. Frank Thomas.
Yeah, Auburn.
Yeah, if I'd say
Will Clark's he's not a Hall of Famer?
No, he's probably in the Hall of Very Good.
I love the fact that he no batting gloves. Love it.
Micah and Harrison like the big cat. I know you, Galarraga. Yeah, he played for the Rockies for a minute too. You remember that team they had when they first got the team and they played a year in Mile High Stadium. They had Vinny Castilla and Andres Galarraga. It was just basically just an all or nothing kind of a team. Home runs and strikeouts and 68,000 people in a football stadium to watch the baseball game. But hitting on the Saints here for a moment too. Are the Saints in a position where they try to tank to get Arch Manning? Now I don't know how good Arch Manning is going to be. Like we only saw him in fits and starts this past year, but I mean, who was the expected first overall pick last year? Wasn't it going to be Carson Beck? Well, he's with Miami right now with the Hurricanes. Who knows what's going to happen in the next season? But I mean, there it is for you. If the Saints want it and they don't have a guy who's going to really be a good quarterback, Arch Manning may be coming out of college football next year, and if he's any good, figure the Saints may want him.
I like the kid from Penn State. If if you're just kind of, it's way too early, preseason rankings or whatever. But I like the kid. I like the kid from Penn State.
But that's also what this. I mean, it's too good of a story for them not to now be a question for the Saints throughout the entire season. Like they're going to be tied together here with Arch Manning because of the last name, because of the city and the franchise, and
that would be poetic. That would give them a much needed boost. Just they're kind of in the doldrums right now. They were good with Breeze, but now they're just kind of back to the old Saints.
And I mean, Carr had kind of just gotten there, right? Just 2 years after his time with Vegas.
Yep.
I remember last year he said he did play 10 games. He had a great first game, and it just kind of went south from that point. But Derek Carr retires, and what's his age here? 34 years old, which I mean it's still on the back end of a career, but you see plenty of quarterbacks that if they're able to throw it and stay upright, still be pretty good at age 34. 877-377-6963. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Chris in Siloam Springs remembered Dante Bichette was also on that Rockies team that played at Mile High Stadium.
It looks like I thought for some reason Will Clark didn't wear batting gloves, but it looks like he did.
Was it Grace? Someone texted and thought it was Mark Grace.
I do like it when people tell me what I'm supposed to think. It's probably one of my favorite things. I think this is okay. Thank you.
I remember the thing with Will Clark that stood out was he just had that that only left-handed hitters have.
Sweet, like it's like a soccer player with their left foot. It just James Harden, there's something different. A lefty. It's he's sweet.
So I know if I'm looking at a swing that there's a difference between a lefty and a righty swing. I'd never thought that there'd be a difference in a lefty's kick from a righty's kick. But it's the same thing. Lefties and righties when it comes to pitchers. There is nothing weirder, nobody weirder in sports than a left-handed pitcher. So it would make sense then that the guys in soccer that kick with the left foot may be a little bit off kilter too.
Goalkeepers are the off kilter.
They are. So if you're a left-handed goalkeeper, you're about as bat whatever as you can be, right?
You're in the right mind.
Yeah, there it is. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Stay with us. After this phone call, we'll have a break. I just see Mike in Russellville is giving us a call. Mike, what's up? How are you?
Hey, guys. Doing good. Sorry, I'm just joining. Kind of had a little work to do this morning, but if Spencer Rattler is the Saints quarterback, they're not going to have to try to
take the under.
Tank.
Yeah, take the under on the season.
No lie. Comment about baseball. Hogs hated we lost Friday night and losing the series, but we got Gage Wood and Vital Cheese and one or two others got some experience in tough places to play. Baum and Alex Box is two of the hardest places to play, and they really hadn't gone through that this year, and that will do nothing but help us, especially if we can get to Omaha. Just a comment. Phil, I do have
Mike,
a
I think you're
question
right.
about
I think you're right though too. Like that was I was thinking about Texas, and then when they came into Fayetteville, this is the toughest environment they've played in. You're absolutely right. Now, Ole Miss was a tough place to play. Playing at LSU is tougher.
it is not Alex Box. It's not Baum. Of course, a Baum's home for us, but I think it's gonna help us if we can get to Omaha. It will do nothing but help us. I have a question about Pittsburgh. I've always been a big Pittsburgh fan. I'm old. I am 65, and I loved Clemente, Sengian, Parker, those teams, Kent Colby. I'm saying names a lot of people don't even know.
The family.
But I want to take my wife to Pittsburgh and go to a game. I want to sit. Clemente is one of my favorite players, and I have autographs from him and all this. But I just want to sit in Clemente's right field. And my question is, hotels. Where do you can you give me 2 or 3 names of hotels in Pittsburgh where we can go and stay? Because I want to go to Permanis and eat, and go to a couple of Pirates games.
Well, I was going to offer up my parents' house. My old bedroom. I don't know if they might do it for free if you're really nice.
I'll bring the beer and bourbon, so that'll be fine. So.
Well, see, now you're talking. If you're looking, they won't charge you any hotel rate, but beer and bourbon, that'll do it. Stay downtown. There's great hotels downtown. The Westin William Penn's a great place. There's I don't know if it's still a Hilton, but it's right there near the fountain downtown. You want to stay downtown because you can walk over the bridge to go to the ballpark. You can walk over to if you want to go to Permanis, it's in the Strip District where Woolies Fish is located too. So just find the Westin William Penn will be just great. And again, it used to be a Hilton. I don't know if it is. There's also going to be hotels around the stadium. So, I mean, it's a big city. There'll be plenty of places to stay. And Permanis is cool, but go to Woolies Fish Market, WHOLEY. You may have to wait in line. It's worth it. It's a unique place. And walk around the Strip District. Don't just go to Permanis. Go to the Italian delis too, because those are really cool.
Okay, sounds good. I've only been to Pittsburgh one time, and Cleveland Browns were playing Pittsburgh, and went to Cleveland and saw a game on a Sunday, and then made the drive to Pittsburgh and walked across the bridge to the park. Walked across 6-8 inches of ice. Oh my God, it was the coldest I think I've ever been in my life, and I used to duck hunt all the time. That was as cold as I'd ever been before in my life. But thanks for the info, and we're going to make that happen. So
you'll have a great time, Mike. Yeah, and notice he didn't ask about how do you get tickets, because there are great tickets available to every single Pirates game. Michael and Harrison is next. Michael, what's going on? Thanks for the call.
Hey, thank you for allowing me to call in today, and I really enjoy y'all's show. I'm retired, so I put on the headset and get out and do my yard work and work on the porch and do whatever I need to do and listen to you guys. You are very knowledgeable, and you keep it interesting. Boy, it's hard to do that for about 3 or 4 hours, isn't it?
Well, I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Michael.
Yep. Well, this is why I called. We've been talking about the Pirates all morning, and I'm calling to brag a little bit, not on me, but on my youngest son. He's going to be singing the national anthem at the Pirates game on July the 22nd.
What?
And yeah, he's from Arkansas. He started singing during COVID. He sang the national anthem at Baum Stadium. He sent in a recording, and they would show it on the big screen, so we were able to see it on the big screen several times going to the games at Baum. And he has moved out to California. Now he's a regular singing the national anthem at the Angels game.
Wow.
So my oldest son, I can't believe he did it, but he moved just 30 minutes south of Pittsburgh. So when he did that, my youngest son landed, sent in a recording to the Pirates, and they got back with him within like 36 hours and said, yeah, come on, we want you. So we're all going to go up on the 22nd. I don't remember who they're playing. That doesn't matter. But we're going to go up, and so an Arkansas kid's going to be singing the national anthem on the 22nd of July for the Pirates.
That's outstanding.
How about
Michael.
that?
Yeah, that's super. That's super. I'll bet he won't even feel any nerves because he's doing it in front of a heck of a lot more people at Angels games. And when you do it at Baum, you're already doing it in front of like 10,000 people. So that's super. It's not easy. It really isn't easy. And I've done that before. And you're up there and you think, well, I've heard this song a million times. I know the words. But when your heart's pounding and you got all these people that are standing up and they're waiting for you to sing, sometimes the words are a little difficult to find.
That's
Thanks.
right. You better know it. That's all. I'm a 37-year school teacher. I taught choral music, and so he's working on his master's degree in music and biblical studies and everything. And anyway, he's a worship pastor out in California, so he sings all the time. But it's different when you're singing the national anthem. That's not an easy one.
No, it isn't. Our anthem is not easy. It's you got to have a little range for it. Oh, Canada, you don't have to have any range for it. That's an easier song. Michael, appreciate your phone call, and I hope he breaks a leg. And, of course, if you're in theater, you know that's a good thing to say to somebody. 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive hotline. We'll be back in just a moment on Halftime.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Sandy White Perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Sit down all day.
I need to sit, though.
Finally make a putt. Let's go tap in pars.
Golf is back. Shop polos, hoodies, and Q-zips at Rhoback.com.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Bet online. The game starts here.
Help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. How do people see what you've made over the years, Cecil?
Google or Yahoo it or Bing it. Jasco Graphics Design, JAAZCO, Monday through Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And sometimes I'm here after. So if that open sign is on, I'm here. Y'all come on in. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss. Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Pop quiz, C. Beatle, who's singing that song?
Oh, which Beatle you mean? Oh. Let's go,
Basically, it's
let's go John Lennon.
Oh, see, it was a 50-50. He got it right.
Yes. A total guess.
Well, it's not quite a 50-50, because how many songs did George sing? Like
Here
3,
Comes the
4 of
Sun.
them?
Yeah.
Ringo was maybe 2.
Yeah, Ringo. Yeah.
But as if you could have flipped the coin, made a guess, you got
He's
it right.
kind of got a raspier sounding voice in that song. I don't know. Maybe he's just singing different. I don't know.
See, so now he's starting to delineate between the voices usually here, Matt. I feel like maybe we're breaking through with him. It only took 7 months.
Recipe.
Actually, it only took a year and 7 months.
I pick up the most random stuff, but yeah.
Welcome to your job, Christian Johnston. Your job is basically just ingesting awkward information that you never realized you'd have to know from me and Matt. That's why you exist. Yeah. Grant Hall does the same thing. Grant Hall has given us a call on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. It's not a Wednesday. We'll be talking with Grant on Wednesday, but he's got something for us. Grant, what's up?
Well, I may be in the air Wednesday. I'm going to the beach
I knew it.
Charlotte, so I'm not sure. I got to check my itinerary. But the question I have, I could have asked you this off the air, Phil. 100 Dietz was credited with 2/3 of an inning pitched, and yet he got 3 outs, counting the strikeout. I mean, isn't it possible to get 4 outs? Sometimes you get 4 strikeouts in an inning.
Oh, yeah.
So did they just credit him with 2/3 to make the box score balance, or
He only got 2/3 of an inning. You don't get credit, Grant. You don't get credit for the strike. You get credit for the strikeout, but not the out on a drop third strike.
Okay.
Yeah, so he got credit for a strikeout, but he didn't get credit for the actual out.
And then the other thing is, the rundown play. They didn't charge an error on that, which makes a difference because Dietz has now given up 1 earned, so his ERA is not very good, where it would be 0 if there was an error charged. And so my question is, if you're the official, and it's harder and harder to get charged an error these days. You've noticed that, right? But so Helfrich runs the ball down, and then you're supposed to, in a rundown, you run toward the runner, right? He did as much as he could. Then he threw to third base. The third baseman at the time, Robinette, made a tremendous play just to stop the ball on one hop, right? He made a great play to save it from going off. And then he threw high to the plate. It was a bang-bang play, just like the day before at the plate. And did you think that, first of all, that Arkansas might challenge the call? because people say that they thought he was safe when they slowed it down, right?
Yeah, I thought he was safe to the naked eye on the
Okay.
on the one that run ruled him on Saturday. I also
Right.
I mean, look, I understand you can probably come from behind. You got a couple of innings to do it, but I'm just not sure if that's a call that you really need to be challenging. They looked like they were sleepwalking through that game, Grant, Saturday.
Well, yeah, it's just it's whether it's going to be a run rule game or play 2 more innings, you know. But back to the official scoring part. So usually you're not charged an error if they're like in a rundown. You see all the time guys get out of a rundown, but unless there's a misplay involving a bad throw or a drop ball or something like that, they don't charge an error. But in this case, the runner had gone back to third, right, and the advance was over until the low, as I saw it, at least on TV, the low and wide throw, and that encouraged the runner to come on home where he was safe. So, like, seeing all that, would you charge the catcher with an error, or would you let it go without an error?
It looked to me like the runner might have been trying to stop and come back to the plate when Helfrich got rid of the ball. And yeah, I mean, It was a really bad throw, but it also didn't get past Robinette, and it didn't. So, I mean, I can see it from the scorer's perspective, but I can also see it from the perspective of he probably doesn't score if the throw's on the money, and then you end up catching him in a rundown. And you say, well, you can't assume the rundown, but yesterday they LSU picks off Justin Thomas Jr., and the only reason he wasn't out on the throw to second base is because the ball hit him in the back of the head. He got credit for a steal, and a lot of times, even though the throw truly was a good throw, but because it hit the runner, I've seen the fielder get an error on plays like that, and they didn't charge an error yesterday. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's just more difficult to charge errors these days. I think having TrackMan and being able to see exactly how fast a ball came off somebody's bat may be one reason why there are more hits given than errors off batted balls. But in this situation, that has nothing to do with it. So I'm not really sure what the scorer was thinking, Grant.
Well, we're probably pretty far into the weeds on that. I think probably the more important thing about the weekend to me is you've got Parker Coyle and Hunter Dietz looking quite viable as useful pitchers toward postseason. And to me, that changes the equation, I think, a lot in terms of expectation for Arkansas, don't you think?
I do. I mean, these are, first of all, they're left-handed. I trust Coyle more than Dietz just because he's been in more pressure moments. But Dietz's stuff, as long as he's ready to be in tight situations, his stuff will pitch against just about anybody. And speaking of Helfrich, I mean, Ryder batting fifth yesterday, that's the highest Helfrich has ever hit in the batting order. 2 doubles, 2 walks. He had some really good at-bats. That's somebody who, Vieva didn't have a great series, but Arkansas got production from Helfrich, and his hitting yesterday is a major reason why they won the ball game. Plus, he caught the full game, and it was all 6 pitchers. And Justin Thomas Jr. has taken over the team lead in on-base percentage. That happened after the first game of the series in Baton Rouge. I mean, these are 2 guys that sometimes don't get talked about very much because it's all about the Aloys and Davalon and Cam Kojal. But watch for Helfrich and Thomas because right now they're playing their best. They're hitting their best of the season.
Yeah, and that turned out to be a genius move by Dave Van Horn, moving him up to the 5-hole. Really, it almost sounded like kind of on a hunch before the game, because as he was writing out the lineup card, hey, this might work, and it did, obviously.
So, Grant, where are you flying to Wednesday?
Charlotte. The PGA Championship starts Thursday at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. I think it's kind of intriguing that Rory McIlroy has at least he's the guy with a chance for the Grand Slam this year, having won the only one they've played so far. And but there are a lot of other guys playing well. Obviously, I mean Justin Thomas and Scheffler's playing. He's coming off a win, and Spieth 2 tournaments ago had a 62, and DeChambeau, what's he going to do coming off the LIV Tour? It's a big ballpark. It's I think it's about 7,600 yards, which favors longer hitters, and so I'm looking forward to it.
Grant, can you tell me, what makes the PGA Championship stand out amongst the majors? We know that the U.S. Open is a little different, the Masters is different, obviously the British Open is different. What makes the PGA Championship unique?
You know, it's funny, Phil. It probably used to be sort of considered the afterthought one. It was the last one of the year, you know, and I think now that it's second, it kind of has a little bit more relevance. It's earlier in the golf season. It's in May, great weather. You know, it's not 100 degrees in August like it could have been many other times. So, you know, it still has 20 club professionals, and some people think that weakens it. At one time, it was 40 club professionals. It's gone down through the years, and of course, one of those this year is Michael Block, the guy that made such a splash a couple of years ago with the hole-in-one and all that stuff. He's back in it. But, yeah, I don't know. To me, probably it would still be fourth out of four. But this year, I think with what Rory's done, it's got a little bit more buzz.
All right. Well, I'll check in with you for Wednesday and see if you're able to join us. If not, then we'll figure out another time, Grant. Appreciate your call. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys. See you.
877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Yeah, it's summer major season, so I guess Grant's going to be traveling once a month to some of these, to the other I don't know where the U.S. Open is this year. See if he heads to Great Britain. Stay with us. It's the home stretch of halftime. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo!
This is Halftime.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Old Ford Days action begins Memorial Day, and the Old Ford Days official merchandise is ready for you at Jelco Outdoors. Ball caps, t-shirts, koozies, drinkware, and more. Check out the selection of cowboy hats, boots, shirts, and belts. Hot buys on Ariat and Wrangler jeans. Buy 2 pair and get a 3rd pair free, plus a free Old Ford Days rodeo cap with purchase. Go to the Old Ford Days Rodeo in style. Check out the Old Ford Days official merchandise at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Superior Siding and Windows have been improving homes in Fort Smith and the River Valley for over 44 years. Whether your need is siding, vinyl windows, doors, or gutters, Superior Siding is the one to call if you want it done right the first time. Call 479-646-7888 for a free estimate. 100% financing is available, and Superior Siding has AAA rating with Better Business Bureau. Superior Siding, your first call, 479-646-7888.
Come see Cody and the gang at Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find them at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give them a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Hey everyone, Braden Webb here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. You may remember me from my days playing baseball for the Hogs. Now I'm hitting home runs for AAA Business Systems and enhancing the ways company do business in our area. If you want to partner with the best office technology provider in Northwest Arkansas, call me today at 479-442-4185. Let's win together and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN. Are you ready for the NFL season? The schedule release is coming, and we know the best place to get your tickets this year. My friends at Vivid Seats. They're seriously legit, and you earn rewards on every purchase. That's basically free football games. When that schedule hits, don't wait around. For the best selection and all the great deals, head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in your game days now.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Once upon a time, in a small roller coaster town, lived a girl so pretty, one I thought they'd never find. All the lights from the city, all the lights from the small town, couldn't draw me away from you, want you around me all the time.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I was a little worried last night, Matt. I was going to fall asleep in the car. It was a long drive after a long game. When I used to go on road trips with my dad, he would stay awake by blasting the air conditioner, no matter what time of the year it was. If it's midnight, if it's 12:30 in the morning, and we're on a long drive to one of his baseball tournaments, the air conditioning is on full blast, and he's also blasting Phantom of the Opera through the sound system so that he could sing. But it's impossible for me to be able to fall asleep or stay asleep in a car with the air conditioning on full blast and the dude sitting next to you screaming Phantom of the Opera. So that wasn't what I was going to do yesterday. Comedy actually kept me awake. Stand-up comedy did it. Sometimes you get into music, and the rhythm of the music sometimes can kind of put you in a place where you're too comfortable, fall asleep. So as long as I had the right comic, laughter kept me awake. That worked. This will be the last really long road trip I go on for the year, because now it's Fayetteville this next weekend. The conference tournament, it's not going to. That's a flight, and then I think the team will be playing home, and then if they end up in the College World Series, it's not a bad drive at all, and I wouldn't have to rush to make it back.
I thought you were going to say Fantagram. That would
I
have
don't
been,
think Howard knows who.
Probably, yeah.
He doesn't know. He does not know who Fanagram is. But I'll say Fanagram may keep you awake on on 2 a.m, won't it? Certainly would. BE wanted to know if so. Michael Jordan on the NBC coverage. So many of the Jordan versus LeBron thing just always seems to be at the forefront of conversations when LeBron comes up. BE thinks, does Jordan smack talk about LeBron at any of his coverage? And I think if any of this comes, somebody will ask him about it. What's your opinion on the whole GOAT thing? I just don't know how you answer that. If you're Michael, though, you know how you answer it?
6.
He's the best.
6. That's right.
Right. It's 6.
What's
The
LeBron
number
got?
6.
4. Yeah, I'm trying. Did Kobe get 4? Kobe might have 5. Yeah, I mean, he's got 6. LeBron doesn't have 6.
Jamie wants to know which comics Let's see. Yesterday there was Carlin, Ralphie May popped up, Lewis Black popped up, even Larry the Cable Guy popped up. Now I didn't choose this. I started with a Carlin routine, and the program took it from there. So yeah, there was a little bit of oh gosh, Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks will keep you awake. Guy died in, like, what was it, 94? He'll still keep you awake. That stuff will always make you laugh. Nate says, anything to say about Thero? I don't know anything going on with Thero here. I did see that the rosters for Wednesday's NBA Draft Combine 5-on-5 games were released. And I don't know if I see Thero on any of these rosters. He's not on any of them. Got Carter Knox on Team Miller. He'll play with Mark Sears and Colby Brea and Jameer Watkins. And then Boogie is on Team Dahmerkant with R.J. Lewis and Landeborg at UAB. But I don't see a Thero on any of these teams. I don't know if that means he's not partaking in any 5-on-5 games, or if there may be an injury that we're unaware of, or what happened to him in the regular season may have flared up or anything. But I don't see him on any of these rosters. But yeah, these 5-on-5 games for the combine, I guess it'd be pretty important to see how you match up against the other guys that you're up against when it comes to the draft. But yeah, I don't know what's up with Thero in that case. Does he have eligibility left? There's still a year left for Thero, but I don't know when he made his announcement about going into the draft if he had said that he was keeping his eligibility. I don't know if you've got to make a report, when you first announce for the draft that you're either giving up your eligibility or that you're going to retain it, or if it's just a matter of pulling yourself out of the draft and then you keep your eligibility. But it's, I guess it's early next month when you have to either pull out of the draft or stay in. And whatever happens to the combine is going to be a big thing to help make his decision.
I think he'll do good at the combine. I think he's a guy that would test well. Like he's uber athletic. Like there's he reminds me so much of Ricky Council IV. I mean, I know I brought up Phil that same type of play he made at the free throw line and being the first one to get it and go right back up with it. You saw both those guys do it. So, yeah, I mean, I think he'll test well.
Just looking at some of the other rosters. There's Grant Nelson on a team with Tamar Bates, Ryan Nemhard. Just looking at names that we would remember, Milos Uzan. 4 teams, that's it. And yeah, I do know Thero's got eligibility left. So I guess I have to check and see whether or not this is a matter of you pull your name out of the draft and you got eligibility, or you got to say something about it once you announce for the draft. But I'd have thought he'd have been on one of these rosters. It does appear, and I'm just looking down on the comments on this roster page, 5-on-5 play is optional, so it's not a mandatory thing at the combine. Man, you wouldn't have been able to do any kind of scrimmage in an NFL combine, would you, man? It just doesn't quite fit the sport, does it?
It's I mean, basketball, just getting up and down the court, that's it's a lot of fun, and being able to show off your athletic ability. So I know those guys, I know they're having a good time.
Greg told me the British Open is in Northern Ireland, and Grant said the U.S. Open is Oakmont, which is right by Pittsburgh. That was Arnie Palmer's home course, Oakmont, Pennsylvania. That's right. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline here. Jamie tells me that all the comics are dead. Scott the Tortilla guy reminded me of that. Yeah, Carlin's gone. Bill Hicks died a long time ago. Dennis Leary's still around, right? Yeah, he's still around. Ralphie May, I think Ralphie May died. Larry the Cable Guy, he's still around. I don't know if he's
What about John Mulaney?
I didn't hear John Mulaney. He was not on the. I like Mulaney. He's really good, but he wasn't on my. I guess my phone doesn't think I like him, but he'd be wrong about that. He'd be completely wrong about that. And there was the other thing. Remember, somebody texted in on the show and asked about hemorrhoids. And then Scott, the tortilla guy, says hemorrhoids in the dictionary is a photo of Brian from Ozark. Not bad, Scott. He had jokes. Mitch Hedberg. Yeah, Mitch Hedberg was on the list yesterday. I heard Hedberg. He died a while back, too. Who else did I hear that was really funny? Birbiglia, Mike Birbiglia. He was really good. He's still alive.
Oh, Gaffigan's pretty funny.
Yeah, and then Gaffigan was wanted too, and he always has that has that other voice that just always sounds like. Well, I think he just said something really weird, Matt. I don't do his comedy really well. Yeah, Lenny Bruce was not on there, but if George Carlin's on there, then it's a piece of Lenny Bruce. Stay with us. Back to wrap up the show in just a moment.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
This is halftime.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake surf boats, chainless bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofers.com. That's COPATRS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
At Mosquito Joe, our passion is making outside fun again. One of the most popular ways of achieving that goal is with a mosquito misting system. Mosquito Joe misting systems can be installed discreetly around your backyard, patio, boat dock, anywhere you're getting bugged.
The really cool thing about Mosquito Joe misting systems is that they mist automatically every day when mosquitoes are most active. And, if I want to, I can operate the system on my phone with a super easy-to-use app.
Mosquito misting systems. Just one more way Mosquito Joe makes outside fun again.
Visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
For 38 years, Mansfield Automotive Park City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle's needs. Key draining your battery? Get a great deal on a Superstart battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep of your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Park City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. That's Mansfield Automotive, Park City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield, open from 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday until 1 o'clock on Saturdays.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Fords Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Fords Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoFordsGrid.com. That's GoFordsGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoFordsGrid.com. Fords Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Evan Cohen here. La Quinta by Wyndham is deeply grateful for all our military members, veterans, and their families. They understand the dedication, sacrifice, and hard work that comes with serving our country. As a thank you, La Quinta offers 12% off standard rates, upgraded Wyndham Rewards, Gold Status membership, and preferred parking. They want to make sure your stay is as comfortable and rewarding as possible, and they're proud to serve those who serve. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Visit LQ.com to learn more about these special military perks and discounts. Restrictions apply.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Oh, welcome back as we wrap up halftime here on a Monday afternoon. A little bit of time if you want to get in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963 for calls and texts. And let's see here. I think since today is Carlin's birthday, C-Unit had some homework over the weekend that he liked. You did like Rounders, right? C-Movie?
Did. I watched it all in one sitting, like really late at night, just all the way through.
So I wonder if we need to do any like comprehension pop quizzes for the middle of the week to see if you actually sit there and watch it.
I think I'd do okay.
What was Edward Norton's character's name?
Edward Norton.
Who was Edward Norton?
I got to know who Edward Norton is first.
Edward Norton was one of the main characters in the movie.
Loved
He was the not Matt Damon.
Yeah,
Worm.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Got an ace up his sleeve.
So maybe he needs to see American Psycho X or what was no, not American Psycho X. What's the one with
American History X?
History X. That's the one with exactly we're talking about here. I feel like since today's Carlin's birthday, if you've never listened to George Carlin comedy, that could be a pretty good assignment for you, C-Unit, because he's a real master of the English language, not just the curse words or the 7 words you can't say on radio, but even great routines like comparing baseball to football. So maybe by the end of the week, and if you ever wanted to understand why my thought process is the way that it is, George Carlin would be the number one influence. So if you want to know why I am the way that I am, listen to a couple of Carlin routines. I'll help you out with that, okay?
I've heard he's pretty funny.
He is pretty funny. He'll always be pretty funny. Just because, talks about some cultural stuff that kind of lasts no matter what. Yesterday I listened to the one routine where he takes the 10 Commandments and whittles it down to 2. And when you're thinking about how he goes about this, it's kind of logical stuff. Just a little bit logical stuff. Yeah, Nate wants you to know it's X-rated. It's more NC-17, but it's okay.
Hey,
he's 29 or 30 years old. I think he can do it.
I've watched plenty of X-rated stuff, and I'm not going to go any further.
Don't need any details. Yeah, that's good. Good to know that you're at least of that age where you can, but you don't actually have to get into the details about it. So we'll figure out later in the week whether or not that's assigned to you.
Celtics Knicks tonight.
I was going to say, what's on the TV tonight? Celtics Knicks.
I think they tie it up.
Yeah.
And Timberwolves Warriors. You think the Warriors tie it up?
If Steph Curry, no. If Steph Curry's not playing, I don't think they have it.
I'm with Matt.
What do you got on the Cavs, Matt? What's going on there?
They're done. Pacers are legit.
I like that Halliburton. I mean,
they're legit.
Yeah, that point guard. I like him and Brunson as far as you're talking about American point guards in the next Olympics. I think those two guys would be leading the squad.
Well, back with you again tomorrow, our Tuesday show, Alyssa Orange, Bill King, and that's about it. Yeah, Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast coming out in just a few minutes. Ruskin and Zach are standing by. They'll take you up until 7 o'clock. It's good to be back with you guys on a Monday. Thanks for your patience. My brain has been fried all day long. Maybe be a little better tomorrow. So, for Matt Jones and Kristen Johnston, I'm Phil Elson. Thanks for listening. That's halftime. Get up, get out, and get better.